Hello, good morning. I am M. Har Prasad, lecturer in commerce, JDC, Siddipet. So we are discussing income tax. As part of this, we are discussing income from house property. So in income from house property, we have discussed some words. What are those words? What is municipal rent? What is meant by fair rental value? What is meant by standard rent? What is meant by actual rent? What is meant by gross annual value, net annual value? How to treat municipal taxes? What is section 24A and what is section 24B? How to calculate chargeable income or taxable income from house property. Again, we also discussed types of houses: fully let out house, partially let out house, partial time let out house, fully self-occupied house. Right? Again, we have discussed some other variations also: rent to use situation, vacant situation. So we are discussing one by one. So fully self-occupied we have discussed in previous classes. To fully let out house. Today we are going to discuss fully self-occupied house. What is meant by self-occupied? Self అంటే మనమే కదా, ఆక్యుపైడ్ మనమే ఆక్యుపై చేసుకుని మీన్స్ we are not let out. మనం దాన్ని అద్దెకి ఇవ్వలేదు, మనం దాన్ని రెంట్కి ఇవ్వలేదు. దెర్ ఇస్ నో టెనెంట్, వీఆర్ లివింగ్ ఇన్ అవర్ ఓన్ హౌస్. మన ఇంట్లో మనమే ఉంటున్నాము, రెంట్కి ఇవ్వలేదు. సచ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ సెల్ఫ్ ఆక్యుపైడ్ హౌస్. సొంత నివాసము, సెల్ఫ్ ఆక్యుపైడ్ హౌస్. సో హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఆక్యుపైడ్ హౌస్? All the things will be there. For a self-occupied house, municipal rent will be there because it will be decided by the municipal authorities. For self-occupied house, fair rental value will be there. It will be decided by the rent area rent. It will be standard rent will be there because it will be decided by the Rent Control Act, right? But there will not be rent received. Actual rent or rent received will not be there because there is no tenant. If tenant is there, tenant pays rent to assessee or landlord. That will be known as rent received or actual rent. And here there is no tenant. No question of rent received. Municipal taxes will be there. Section 24A will be there if there is any NAV under 30%. Section 24B also there. But how to calculate income from house property for self-occupied house? Self-occupied houses. Self-occupied houses. Self-occupied houses. How to calculate for self-occupied houses? ఎట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి? Nothing. All things for simple off the card, what we have to do is all are dashes. GAV dash because there is no rent received. Any municipal taxes need not to take because there is no any income on that house. NAV will be 0. Section 24A will be 0 because there is no NAV. Section 24B will be there, right? Example, we'll do one example. A person Raju is using his house self-occupied. Municipal rental value 6,000 per month. Fair rental value 5,000 per month. Standard rent 7,000 per month. Municipal taxes 300. Interest on loan 8,000 for construction of house. This is the problem. Means Raju, he is using himself. There is no tenant. Rent received is not there. What is meaning of rent received as a problem? Self-occupied and ekkada cheppavochu. But we have to observe if there is any rent received. If there is any rent received, what we have to assume? It was let out. If there is no any rent received, what we have to assume? It is self-occupied. If there was no any information about rent received information, what we have to assume? It is let out. For let out houses, what you have to do? All these things are there, but need not to take anything except the last thing, section 24b. How to do? We'll do, right? I'll run this. Pro forma will be same. Income from house property of Sri Raju for previous year of current assessment year. For the previous year of current assessment year. Right? Gross annual value. Need not to calculate. For let out houses, we have to calculate gross annual value in working notes. But in case of self-occupied house, need not to calculate. Gross annual value will be dash nil minus municipal taxes. Dash net annual value. Net annual value, short form NAV. GAV minus municipal taxes will become net annual value. There is no GAV, there is no municipal taxes. Minus deductions under section 24. First one, section 24A. First one, section 24A. What is that section 24A? Standard deduction. Standard deduction. No, need not to take, because if there is any NAV, on that 30% we should take. There is no NAV, need not take. Section 24B. Interest on loan. For construction of house. Interest on loan for construction house. That used to be this calling came this call. So 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 8 becomes minus. So answer is negative, minus values. What does it mean? If we got positive value, income from house property. If we got negative value, what we have to assume? Loss from house property. Loss from house property. Right? So this is the method of calculation of income from house property for self-occupied houses. So how to recognize if it is self-occupied or let out? Sometimes he will mention self-occupied or using himself. Or we have to main is if a rent received or actual rent is given, what does it mean? It is let out house. Rent received or actual rent is not given, what does it mean? It is self-occupied house. Rent received ivvakunte, actual rent ivvakunte self. Right? So this is the method, loss from self-occupied house. So from house property we may get either profit or loss. Generally for self-occupied houses, loss will be there. Generally for let out houses, profit will be, income will be there. Let out houses, income will be there. Self-occupied houses, loss. ఎందుకు loss ఉంటుంది? GAV nil, municipal taxes nil, NAV nil, section 24A nil, only 24B will be there. If section 24B will be there, there will be loss. If section 24B means interest on loan is not there in that particular problem, house property will be zero, right? So this is the method of calculation of income from house property for self-occupied house. One more example we will do, right? One more example we will do. So Mahesh is having a house. Mahesh is having a house. Municipal rental value 5,000 per month. Fair rental value 6,000 per month. Standard rent 5,000 per month. Municipal taxes 1,000. Interest on loan, interest for construction of house 8,000. Calculate income from house property. So if problem is given related to house property, first we have to identify whether it is self-occupied or let out. ఎట్లా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం self-occupied or let out? If rent received or actual rent is given, it is a let out. If these two things are not there, self-occupied. Here municipal rental value given, fair rental value given, standard rent given, municipal taxes given, interest on loan for construction given, but there is no information about rent received or actual rent or let out value. What does it mean? It is self-occupied house. For self-occupied, what we have to do? We need not to do anything, just all the dashes except section 24B, right? Heading will be same. What is that heading? Income from house property of Sri Mahesh for the previous year of current assessment year. Same. For the current assessment year, right? So just now we decided it is self-occupied house because actual rent or rent received are not given. So straightforward we have to go without any working notes. Gross annual value, gross annual value, GAV, dash, minus municipal taxes, is given municipal taxes 1,000, but need not to take for self-occupied house. Net annual value, net annual value, NAV, net annual value, 0 minus 0 becomes 0, minus deductions under section 24. Under section 24, two deductions will be there. First one, section 24A, standard deduction. Standard deduction. If NAV is there, on that NAV 30% is to be taken. NAV is not there, standard deduction will be there. Section 24B, interest on loan for which purpose? Construction. $8,000. 0 minus 800 is minus 800. We got minus value. What does it mean? Loss from house profit. Loss from house profit. Right? This is the method to calculate income from house property for self-occupied houses. Right? Suppose a person may have more than two houses, or a person may have a house, in that house more than one portions will be there. So in that situation what we have to do? Suppose X is a person, he constructed a building, 2 floors. In first floor, in ground floor, he is living, means self-occupied. In first floor, it was let out. Means only one house, some part of house were let out and some part of house were self-occupied. What we have to do? Another situation, a person is having 2 houses. In one house, he is living himself, and another house, it was let out. What we have to do? We have to calculate separately income from house property for separate portions or separate houses. After that, we have to club. Some house may have income and some house may have loss. So we have to club to calculate overall income. Right? 2 houses. How to calculate? Let us do. An SSC X, let us assume C. Let us assume C is having 2 houses. House number 1, house number 2. First house is self-occupied and second house is let out. Right? Self-occupied and let out. Municipal rental value 4,000 per month. 6,000 per month. Fair rental value 5,000 per month. 7,000 per month. Rent received for self-occupied house, rent received will not be there. 8,000 per month. Municipal taxes 4,000, 6,000. Interest on loan for purchase. Interest on loan for purchase 10,000, 12,000. So what is the taxable income from house property of C? He is having 2 houses. What we have to do? We have to calculate 2 tables separately, or in one table we have to calculate with 2 separate columns. Let us do. So before doing the problem, before starting the problem, we have to calculate GAV for houses, right? So first house is self-occupied house. Just now we have discussed for self-occupied house, need not to calculate GAV. For second house, we have to calculate GAV. GAV for second house. So municipal rental value, how much? 6,000 per month. 6,000 into 12, 72,000 per annum. Fair rental value times Fair rental value 7,000 per month, 7,000 into 12, 84,000. Rent received 8,000 per month, 8,000 into 12, 96,000. Out of these three, we have to take highest or lowest? Highest kada? Highest how much? 96,000 is the gross annual value for second house. For first house, need not to calculate gross annual value because it is self-occupied house. Then table. So I am not writing heading. What is the heading? Income from house property of Sri Sinu for the previous year of current assessment year. Gross annual value GAV. First house is self-occupied. For self-occupied house, need not to take. For second house, just now we calculated in our working notes 96,000. Minus municipal taxes. For self-occupied house, need not to take. For let out house, municipal taxes how much? 6,000. Net annual value. NAV dash 9600 minus 600 is 90,000 minus section 24 deductions under section 24 minus deductions under section 24. Under section 24. First one is section 24A. What is that section 24A? Standard deduction. For self-occupied house dash, for this 30% on this, on 90,000, 30% means 27,000. Section 24B, interest on loan. For construction, for purchase, how much? For self-occupied house 10,000 and for let out house how much? 27,000. 0 minus 10,000 is minus 10,000. 90,000 minus 27,000 minus 12,000. 39,000, 51,000. So from self-occupied house he got 10,000 loss and a let out house he got 51,000. Overall his income we have to rub in a separate table. What is a separate table? Income from, okay, income from let out house. Income from let out house 51,000. Loss from self-occupied house. Minus 10,000. He got 51,000 income, 10,000 loss, total 41,000 end. So income from house property. Right? Thank you.